Well, let's begin this session with a straightforward, direct question. That question is this: how stupid do these people think we are? Do they think we're a bunch of blank slates that have no exposure whatsoever to the real world? We're just blank slates and they can just put anything in our brains they want, and we're so stupid, such a bunch of saps, that we're going to believe it. Take a look at the title on this, the headline rather, on this article, wxxinews.org. This is attributed to Kaylin White. And we were pointed to this article from weaselzippers.us. It says, Cathedral offering informational sessions on the history and practice of Islam. Why would they do that? Why do we need to know about the history of Islam? Are we a bunch of ignorant Amoses? I think it's just ignorant Amos, not ignorant Amos. It says a class offered at Sacred Heart Cathedral in Rochester is encouraging people to learn more about the history and practice of Islam. How about if we learn more about the history and traditions of Christianity, or America, or Western civilization? I mean, honestly, not some distorted, perverted history as written by the far left, but really. Fact of the matter is, Western civilization has provided the technology that enhances the lives of everybody. White people, Western people, we're the ultimate anti-racist. Well, let's don't tell anybody that, because that doesn't fit the cultural Marxism paradigm, does it? Okay, the article goes on and it says this: Dr. Joseph Kelly is the professor emeritus of religious studies at Nazareth College and leads the sessions. He says the classes were created, we're reading down here, were created to eliminate any uncertainty or fear people might have towards the faith. I don't have any uncertainty towards Islam. I know exactly what they are. Since 9/11, 2001, Islam has documented over 30,300 deadly terrorist attacks. I am certain of that. There is no uncertainty. Don't call me ignorant. You can call me Amos, but you can't call me ignorant Amos. I'm not ignorant. I know what's going on. Don't pretend I'm a blank slate and I need you to illuminate me. So he wants to eliminate any uncertainty of fear that people might have towards the faith. We need to be concerned about the world's largest, oldest, and deadliest hate group. We need to be concerned about that. So don't try to eliminate the fear. We need to have a healthy respect for the extent of their terrorism. It's kind of like, oh, we need to remove the any uncertainty or fear people might have towards Nazis. Are you out of your mind? And separate the religion from the extremist group. Okay, let's do that. Let's separate the extremism from the Ku Klux Klan, and let's just consider that 99.99998% of Klansters were not violent people. They were just God-fearing patriots who love their country. Oh no, can't do that. Why not? Okay, now this is the paragraph that's going to really get to us. We're going to take a look very quickly at 4 other statistic-laden websites. And as I tell you before, liberals hate statistics. They hate data. It's kind of like holding up one of those little silver crosses to a vampire. Oh no, not that. Okay, let's read this, and before your blood starts boiling, we're going to move over to a couple of different websites. There are extremist groups. There are extremist groups in the Jewish faith, Christian tradition, and yes, the Islamic tradition. But this is a very small percentage of people who practice it, and unfortunately, they get all the press. What was that number again? He says there is this very small percentage of people involved in Islam who practice extremism. What was that number again? Over 30,300 documented deadly terrorist attacks since 9/11. That very small percentage is killing a lot of people. Okay, let's take a look. Statistics! Get ready, liberals. Hold up your cape. I'm about to hold up the little silver cross. It's going to drive you crazy. Let's take a look at this. This comes from jihadwatch.org. 81% of respondents to Al Jazeera poll support the Islamic State. Okay, let's go back again. He said, this is a very small percentage. 81%. Yeah, that's a very small percentage. of the world's population. Well, actually, it's not a small percentage of the world's population because 1.4 billion people are Muslims. What is 81% of 1.4? I have no idea. I can't do that math in my head, but it's still a substantial number of Muslims, but it's a substantial number of the world's population. So there's nothing tiny about it. Okay, he says something about Bill O'Reilly mentioned this, that tiny minority of extremists sure slammed by this poll, as pointed out by Bill O'Reilly. Okay, that is jihadwatch.org, attributed to Robert Spencer. Let's go over to the Mirror. Here's some more statistics, another little silver cross to hold up to the cultural Marxist vampires. What is your opinion of ISIS? They ask British readers. Comparing 2014 to 2015, let's look at the pie chart. 5% says somewhat very favorable, and 2% says somewhat favorable. That's 7%. That math I can do in my head. I'm not a genius, but I can figure that out. What is your opinion of ISIS? In 2014, 7% said their view was either somewhat favorable or very favorable. 7% of people in Britain. How many Muslims are in Britain? I think it's 6%. But 7% of Britons said they look at ISIS favorably. So I would assume there's either a lot of crazy white people in Britain, or that encompasses virtually all Muslims in Britain. But we don't know exactly. Well, let's take a look at 2015. Well, look at this. The numbers went up from 7% to 9%. People in Britain who say they view ISIS, Islamic terrorism, 9% say they view it favorably or somewhat favorably. Okay, once again, the total Muslim population in Britain is about 6%. 9%. That's the entire Muslim population plus a third. If I've got my statistics correct. Believe that ISIS should be viewed in a positive light or somewhat positive. Favorable, they said. What did he say again? But this is a very small percent. Okay, 16% of French citizens support ISIS, poll finds. Last I checked, and again, my numbers may not be perfect. Now, the 16% is obviously correct, but my understanding is that about 15% of the population in France is Muslim. 16% say they support ISIS. But this is a very small percent. Actually, that would be over 100%. 42% of French Muslim youth support suicide bombing. Young U.S. Muslims not far behind. 42% of French Muslim youth support suicide bombings. 42%. I'm just wondering, Dr. what's his name? Kelly? What is your idea of a very small percent? Is it 81%? Is it 7 going to 9%, which is actually over 100%? Is it 16%, which includes 100% of the 15% or the equivalents thereof? Or is it 42%? I'm just wondering what they mean when they say this is a very small percentage. All right, let's close out with this parting thought. There is a term called altruism. That is innately compassionate. We are altruistic, we are kind, we are empathetic. There is another term, pathological. That means, as I understand it, that it's innate, natural, we could even say genetic. Put those two words together. Pathological altruism. That characterizes white people. We're nice people, and I think that's a positive thing. We need to be compassionate. That is why that's why we were attributed with the discovery of things like the vaccine for polio, the vaccine for smallpox, and we spread that all over the planet, saving billions, literally billions of lives. Congratulations, white people. Now the liberals not going to tell you that because they want to demonize us as the evil bourgeois and everyone else is the proletariat. Okay, well, I don't play that game, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad I'm a white guy. I'm glad that we are compassionate and altruistic and empathetic. I am so proud of the fact that we are not racist, that we embrace people of all races, creeds, and colors equally. But we also need to be honest. We need to be straightforward. And we need to understand that Islam is a horrific, deadly, monstrous, massive hate group. And somehow, some way, we have to overcome this silly craving of altruism when it comes to this terrorist ideology. And the last thing we need is some goofball holding a brainwashing session at a Catholic church. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it on social media. Lower right-hand corner of this video, little round button says subscribe. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and most evenings at 6 o'clock. If you come right back here, we open up our live stream and our chat group, and you can freely associate with other people of like mind, people who want to defend Western culture. If you are a racist, a white extremist, a white supremacist, this is not a place for you. This is for level-headed, sane, rational Western culture people, advocates. Yeah, we're advocates of the white race, but we're not racist. We don't hate everybody else. We're advocates of Western culture. We're not anti-everybody else. I hope you get that point, because the cultural Marxists will tell you to be pro-white or to be pro-Western culture means you have to hate everybody else, which is nonsense. We don't hate anybody because of their race. All right. So at 6 o'clock, we have what we call a safe space. This is a place where you can come and interact with other people, other like-minded people. Okay, if you're a troll, you can come in, you can say something stupid, and we will zap you. Why? Because it's a safe space. Oh, you can't be unwelcoming to us. Try me. We can be very unwelcoming if you're a troll and you want to cause trouble. But for those of you who are looking for a safe space where you can come and just hang out with other like-minded people who want to defend Western culture without the proliferation of racism, without being racist, we just appreciate Western culture. We acknowledge and recognize that white people are not the evil demons that the cultural Marxists try to make us out to be. This is your place. 6 o'clock right here.
How to subscribe? Click subscribe. Click the bell. Check the box. Save.